Okay, welcome to the week 3 mission. So last week what we talked about was being socially aware, and this week is kind of a part 2 of that. So last week was about, social awareness and how to engage women in a way that is aware of the situation that's happening. So asking them, how do you know everyone, finding out the group dynamic, finding out how she relates to people that are around her, and then making good decisions based on that. And this week is much of the same, but it's a little more detailed. So what we're going to talk about this week in week 3 is logistics, specifically how to figure out specific kinds of logistics and the girl's living situation, her time situation, and her social situation, so you can make the most of every night you go out. Now, logistics are really important, specifically at night, because during the night there's a lot of distractions. So like during the day, maybe you'll ask a girl, you'll say, hey, what are you up to right now? And you pretty much know you could instant date there because she's either going to class, or then she's not free, or she's going home, or she's just walking around enjoying the park, like we're here in a beautiful park right now. It's any one of those couple things, and if you could pull or go on an instant date because of that, right? Now, when it comes to getting logistics at night, it's a little bit more complicated. The reason why is because there's more distractions, right? So when there's more distractions with the environment, when there's more distractions, when there's more friends, when there's more things happening, you're gonna have to be more at the cause instead of at the effect. So you're gonna have to get very detailed logistics. What does it mean to get logistics? So it's kind of part 2 of social awareness. It's finding out the exact information you need to know from that girl to make sure that you can make the exact right decision in the next couple of moments. And there's 3 layers of logistics that you want to figure out: social logistics, living logistics, and time logistics, okay? So social logistics is the most important one, and it's how she knows everyone. And last week I kind of prepared you for this, but I had you do it through opening groups. Now what I want you to do is do it by opening girls that you're more likely to pull. So maybe a girl that's walking through the club running to the bathroom, or 2 girls that are standing together and your wing is talking to one girl, or maybe even a group and you kind of move the girl away from her friends, finding out how she knows the people she's with. So instead of just, hey, what's up? How does this whole group know everyone? No, you're specifically talking to your girl and you're like, how do you know him? Who did you come with? How close are you guys? Are you guys roommates? You're finding out all that information. The second thing is living logistics, right? So where does she live? Is her situation prone for pulling back to her place? Are you gonna have to take her back to your place? Are you gonna have to go to your fucking car? Are you gonna have to put in the bathroom? What is the girl's living situation like? Information, knowledge is power. Remember we talked about this in the social awareness chapter of the fuckboy frame about knowledge being power. Knowledge is always fucking power. So I'm always trying to figure out more information. Information is gonna allow me to win. The third thing is time logistics. So did the girl just get into the club? If the girl just got there, if her drink is fucking full, maybe you're not gonna pull her or take her home right then and there. If maybe her drink's a little empty, maybe you could go to the bar and grab another drink and then bounce, or you could just bounce right now if it's later on in the club. Asking her these questions, how she got there, or how long has she been there, who she knows, where does she stay? Like for example, me, a lot of times I'll ask girls, I'll be like, what area of the city do you stay in? Because I'm here in New York oftentimes, so I'll ask them what area of the city they're in. If I'm down in Miami, I'll say, what area of Miami are you in? So I can find out, am I gonna bring the girl back to my pad, or am I gonna maybe set up the pool back to hers? And again, we talked about in the verbal game structure, how to word things so you can be smart and you don't kind of fuck shit up and you don't fuck yourself over. But once you understand how to word things, the rest of it is just getting information. The rest of it is just figuring out, what is this woman's situation? And how do I relate to that situation? How can I move the interaction forward and make something happening, okay? So what is the exercise for this week? The exercise is simply getting logistics, but doing it earlier rather than later. And this is gonna happen specifically at night. So let's say that you're a kid who's 19, you don't have a fake ID, go out and do street game, okay? Or if you fucking have an ID and you go to clubs, go out a lot this week. Go out 3 or 4 nights, okay? And I want you to actually practice getting logistics earlier rather than later. So your exercise is this. In the first 30 seconds of each interaction you get in, and I want you to have 10 of these interactions every time you go out for this week, I want you to figure out what the girl's logistical situation is. All 3, social logistics, time logistics, and living logistics. And you don't have to be like, tell me your logistics. How do you know that person? Is that your cousin or is it your roommate? No, it's just like, how do you know these people? How do you know that guy? How do you know that girl? And she's like, oh, he's my friend. Oh, cool. Do you have roommates? I actually live in such and such, and I got kicked out of my parents' house, so now I'm on my own. When I was like younger, I got kicked out. Bam, you're giving her information, so she's gonna be more likely to respond to that information positively. You have to give her information and get information. Again, social logistics. How do you know everyone here? Who did you come with? Are you with the boyfriend? Because if she says she's with the boyfriend, you're not gonna stay in interaction. If the girl has a boyfriend in the club, the odds of you taking her home are just much lower. Now, if she's like, I came here and I'm with my roommate, and her roommate's clearly hooking up with some guy by the bar and your girl's like standing bored, that's a signal, hey, this girl's good logistics. Or if you're like living logistics, let's say you're a guy and you live with your parents, and you should address that and try to move out as soon as possible. But if you live with your parents and let's say you can't pull to yours and you talk to a girl and the girl says, oh, I live with my parents too, you're maybe gonna have to pull to the bathroom. Or if you find out that she stays 10 minutes from the club and she has her own studio, hey, that's a good opportunity. Or let's say she dorms at a nearby college and she has roommates and her roommates are in the club or they're out. That's a good situation to get in. Time logistics. If the girl just got there, or let's say she says she's going to an after party later already, you may have to have some convincing there and get the girl to get out of that frame of I'm going to an after party and instead come back with you. Or let's say she says, I just want to go smoke weed. Time logistics. She wants to leave and smoke weed. Fucking pull. Be like, let's go smoke together. Let's go smoke in your area. Bam. Like, figure out ways to pull, figure out ways to make things happen by getting logistics. And again, your exercise, first 30 seconds. I don't want you to wait till later on. So this weekend, put a priority on every interaction I get. Am I focusing on getting logistics earlier rather than later? I don't want to wait till the interaction's over like, okay, I think it's dying out now. Let me get logistics. No, the first fucking thing you should say is, hey, who are you? Can I meet you real quick? Blah, blah, blah. Where are you from? Oh, how do you know this person? Where do you stay, by the way? I stay here. How did you get here? Like, what are you guys doing later? All that information, figure it out earlier rather than later, okay? I want you guys to run with this. I want you to kill it this week at night, and I will see you guys on our next mission, which will be week 4. Good luck, and kill it this week.